Okay guys, here you're looking at my kitchen. I have everything set up on my kitchen table. It's kind of a mess, but that's what happens when you get in the middle of dyeing. So what I wanted to show you is right now I currently have two colors going. I have pink right here and I have tan. Okay, and in the middle you will see that there's no color that this is physically laying in, but as the colors seem to be leaking, what you're getting there is like a greenish mint tint on that side, and then you're getting a mix of light purple right here with a stripe of white down the center. So that is going to work out really well. The first thing I wanted to go over with you is the most important thing that you need to remember is when you're dyeing with, you have the RIT dyes, and you also have this type, which I had never seen. It is actually, it's called fabric dye, and I got this in my local craft store as well. It's by Tulip. Okay, and I had bought two of those. And I have a small collection right now of RIT dyes. If any one of you have seen the first batch of yarns that I dyed, I believe I posted those yesterday or the day before. That would be these two colors right here, teal and pearl gray. Those are the ones that I used for the first batch. Now this is the tan that I'm using for what I just showed you. And the pink, of course, I mixed up the pack and I stored it in mason jars like I have the rest of them. So as you see, I have black, burgundy, pearl gray, teal, pink, and tan. And then these three here are from a dye-in kit. So you have a navy blue, a lime green, and like a fuchsia color. Those also work on yarn. And then the other color that I have right now is wine. So that's like the burgundy color. So that's what I have mixed in over there. Now, the only ones that I have worked with so far are going to be your sugar and cream yarns. And the reason I say that is because they're very inexpensive. And if you read their labels, they're 100% cotton. And that is the best to work with in terms of yarn. It will not work on acrylic. It will take, but it's never a guarantee that it's going to hold the color, so I just stay away from acrylic. You can use these dyes on some cotton wool blends. It's just kind of like a trial and error type thing. It has all of your instructions on the back, and the thing to making your colors brighter, like this extremely bright pink that you see here, is adding a good amount of table salt and some vinegar. That's going to enlighten your colors, and it's going to give you a brighter tint for some of those bright colors. So I do not add in the recommended amount, and I have come up with just as good of results as if I would have the regular amount. So say this package, it is 1 package of dye to 1 pound of dry weight. Then it says for that you want to add a cup of salt and a cup of vinegar for nylon, silk, and wool. Now I have not added the vinegar yet. I'm actually having pretty good results with just a little bit of the salt. And what you see here in this bowl, it fits in a pint jar. That is this here, and as you see, I haven't even used a half of a pack of this, and this is the pink that I'm getting. So on some of your louder colors, you can experiment on a experimental piece of your yarn, a scrap piece. You don't have to use the recommended amount. A lot of that depends on the color that you're trying to develop. And I'm having pretty good luck with that so far, that I haven't had to use the whole entire amount. So I'm just mixing up quantities. I keep them in tightly sealed mason jars. And I do have a labeler, so I have labeled all of my colors. Now, you want to have some sort of spatula or tongs to mix with and to take and push your yarn down. Make sure all of your scraps are getting covered to where you want them. Make sure to rinse that before you stick that in another color. And also, another little handy gadget to have is a syringe, a small one of some sort. That way, if you're just wanting to get a specific look, you can just push the dye out, and you can just make one straight line. You can make a name, you can make a certain shape, you can do different things with that. Okay, and then you also want to have either these plastic type gloves, or you want to have your latex gloves because it's real stain. Okay, and then I also have by Red Heart, it's the crochet thread. This is good for when you're making doilies. I'm also going to try this just to dye it and see the outcome of that. So this is just a trial and error process. But what I did is when the sugar and cream yarns were on sale, $1 a roll, what I did is went and got about 10 rolls to experiment with. And I got the lighter colors. I got the real light peach, I got the cream, and what you see in here was solid white. So just experiment, and at $1 a roll, you know, it can't hurt, and it's pure cotton. So that's what you really want to have to deal with. Now I also got this fisherman's wool. This one's going to be ready to go. This is 100% wool by Lion Brand. And this is going to be my major dye-in project here. Once I have everything figured out and know exactly what I want to use that for, then I will dye that accordingly to what I want done with it. Now, I also have a book here that is showing all different types of ways and instructions on how to dye your yarns. There's several different ways you can dye. You can use your basic hand painting technique with a brush. You can also use, which is what we're doing with the dyes, you can also use acid dyes. And it goes over brief instructions with you of how to do each one individually. You can also try and experiment this with, Kool-Aid. So I did that one time, and it worked. It was really nice. You just don't add the sugar, you just add water, just basically the same as you do with this. But it gives you different ways to do your dyeing, gives you helpful tips and how to tie up your yarn. And if you see here, I'm not sure you can see it really good, but if you see that right there, that is tied with a scrap piece of yarn. And then there's also one right there, so you want to do that so you can keep your yarn from knotting up and coming loose. Okay, so I just wanted to share with you what I was doing today and just a little bit of information about the dyeing. So once this is completed, I will do a small video and let you see the outcome of it. So from now, check with your local craft stores and find the dyes that you would like. I know I went to Joann's Fabrics and she had an awesome amount of different color dyes. So if you're interested in doing it and you're like me and you can't ever find the right color or the color combination, whatever, look into dyeing your own yarns. It's a lot of fun. My children all help me with it. They have a lot of fun. And in the middle of it, they got to dye their own tie-dyed tank top for this year to go to the beach. So they were happy about that. So this is just a brief video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. And as soon as my yarn is complete, I will do the necessities to take care of it. And then I will do a short video to let you see the outcome. Alright, guys. Until next video, happy hooking, everybody.